All right, guys and gals at home. Um, we're diving into a brand new adventure. Unfortunately, our tyranny of dragons has been put on hold. One of our main players has had a dreaded schedule clash. And instead of trying to replace him, remove him, and such, we really enjoyed the direction that campaign was heading. So we're just going to have to put the brakes on it, and we are going to dive out of Forgotten Realms and back into Matt Mercer's Wildemount for Frozen Sick. Okay. This adventure is set in the Grain Wildlands, a very harsh, cold climate region in the north part of the continent of Wildemount. The adventure begins at a remote fishing village known as Pale Bank Village, where a renowned explorer had recently passed. Snow gently falls from the sky and wind bites your cheeks as you stand in the graveyard of Pale Bank Village, the fishing outpost of Uthadern that is home to several hundred dwarves and elves. The sun is low in the sky, sinking beyond the fresh grave of Ergon Winth, an old dwarf who caught some kind of a disease or malfeasance that the rumors say, before killing him, turned him into an ice statue. The folk of the village have gathered to pay their final respects to Ergon's frozen remains. So as you are all standing there, each of your characters have known Ergon in the past in some form or fashion. When we introduce our characters later, perhaps we'll talk about how you knew him. But the wind is blowing, and it's starting to pick up as the priest of Morden is speaking in Ergon's behalf, speaking of how good of a man Ergon Winth was, and how his exploits and adventures were always welcomed by the fireside with a tankard of mead, and how his life here at Pale Bank kept many people entertained, always willing to help, always willing to lend a hand, and just an upstanding citizen of Pale Bank Village. As you're all surrounded, standing there with probably one of the biggest funeral turnouts you've ever witnessed at Pale Bank. And there are quite a few. It's a harsh land, and people get unalived out here more often than not. But it would appear that most of the village is here at this funeral. And as the snow is blowing and the wind begins to pick up, a large gust begins to blow, and Ergon's funeral shroud that's covering him kind of breaks loose on the side and starts flapping in the wind, and suddenly it peels back to a gasp. Many people have heard the rumors, but not many have actually seen it. Laying there is what looks like Ergon Winth, except a solid ice statue of him. And as the priest and the attendees gather to cover the shroud to preserve Ergon's respect, you hear a gruff voice speak softly from behind you. I figured you'd attend the service. And when you turn, Elro Aldatar, the retired elf ranger and leader of the village, is standing there. Behind him is a 6'2" bugbear in tow. Says, I'm sorry to speak of dark tidings under such circumstances. I know that each of you were friends with Ergon. but I believe the Pale Bank Village is in danger. And I'm thinking that you all might be willing to help. If you can meet me in the tavern, I'll tell you what I've learned. And as he turns and walks away, the bugbear just kind of nods at you guys and follows behind.
All right. I kind of look around and I'll follow.
Okay.
Yep, I will also follow.
All right. You guys get to the tavern. Let's go ahead and bring a tavern map up, JD.
Yep.
And then we'll do a little bit of character intro. Yeah, if you just want to slap us up around a table somewhere, I'll get into this. Just want to give the folks at home a chance to learn about our characters and or at least descriptions.
Just need to check your vitals.
Okay.
So Elro leads y'all into the local tavern at Pale Bank and pulls up a seat. He says, I believe something grave has fallen upon Pale Bank. And I know that each of you personally knew Ergon and would probably be more interested in solving this riddle than most. He said, with winter coming in soon, I don't have glass blades to spare.
Well,
So sitting around the table is Elro Aldatar. He is the leader of Pale Bank Village, a retired ranger, and head of the Glass Blades who make up the defense of this area. Sitting next to him, the tall, very lankily built bugbear, built much akin to a beanpole. Even with his winter furs and leathers on, you can tell he's quite thin. 6'2", around 202 pounds, is Brug. You all have never officially met Brug, but you've heard of him. Some people, in terms of endearment, as Brug has been raised in this village the last 8 years or so. Taken in as a child after a failed raid from the goblin tribes from the south. Many folk don't care for Brug too much, so he doesn't spend a lot of time in the village, but you do know that Elro has spoke for him and even mentored him at times these last 8 years. He's become one of the village's scouts. Sitting across from Brug, Crimson, if you want to go ahead and give the folks at home your description.
Absolutely. So Crimson is a 6 foot tall, 400-pound warforged, or in the terms of Exandria, he'd be a Ormaton. His skin is that sort of dark, dusty red that you would expect of old dried blood, which is where he got his name.
Can you tell us how Crimson came to be at Palebank?
Yeah. What was the explorer's name?
Ergon Winth.
Yeah, Ergon. One of his expeditions to Islecross found him there and brought him to Palebank, where he uh, was powered on, and he's been here ever since.
Okay. All right. That is Crimson. And now sitting across from Elro is a handsome fair-haired elf there. Michael, if you'd like to give us your character's description.
Yeah. So this is a 5'11", about a 200-pound elf. He is uncharacteristically good looking. He's got flowing Fabio like hair, piercing blue eyes, the gaze of like looking into the mirror of your soul, kind of looking on his face. He's always intently like looking at people to see if he can pick up or like understand the motivations of others. He actually met Ergon Winth many years ago as Dagos was growing up as a teen. He had Dagos had saved 2 or 3 children from a house fire, and these orphans were taken to Ergon, and Ergon went to actually help rehouse these children, and that actually started the path off for Dagos to serve a higher purpose than themselves, because he didn't think that he would actually survive through that experience, and that's where he finds himself today, because to love him was to know him, and to know him was to love him. He'll miss Ergon Winth to the end.
As you sit there telling Elro that you'd be glad to help with whatever because the Ergon meant a lot to you, the bugbear across from the table looks at you and says, Ergon, good man. He saved Brooke many years ago when Brooke was still very small. I, too, will do anything to help Ergon. So Elro takes all of this in and he says, yes, I knew I'd selected you all correctly. He said, now, on to the more dreadful details. 2 months ago, Ergon returned home after exploring Islecross again. He'd been gone for about a year this time, and he'd been back only a few days when he came down with this strange affliction. It made him move very slowly and caused blue veins to appear all over his body. Our priest of Morden, and he looks to you, Dagos, he says, and Corellin, as you probably know, used every spell they could muster in an attempt to heal Ergon, but nothing they tried could stop this bizarre malady. Ergon battled the affliction for weeks until his ever-slowing blood eventually turned to ice. Well, until yesterday, I and the rest of the community most likely thought it was caused by something the dwarf came into contact while exploring Islecross, and perhaps just a one-off. Then I noticed that Tuli Litan, a dwarf trapper who lives on the outskirts of the town, started showing signs of the same illness. I was alarmed, and I tried to talk to Tuli about it, but she pushed me away, asking that I let her die in peace. He says, unfortunately, Tuli's never been much one for authority, and well, let's just say our relationship with her here has always been complicated. So, What I would have you do, I'd like you to find out what caused Ergon and Tulgi's affliction. I'm worried that it could spread. As I said before, Tulgi won't talk to me or the glass blades, and moreover, well, she's just extremely distrustful of authorities. I think the three of you might have a better chance of convincing Tulgi to talk, if at all possible. On another note, as friendly as Ergon was, he had no kin here. So if you'd do me the favor of going to his cabin and cleaning out any remains that may be there, possibly looking for some clues. It appears that someone had been there 2 nights ago. I have a guard on the door, but I have not had the chance to look through the place myself.
Has any of your compadres looked through the place yet, or is this the first time we're entering? Like, is this the first time we're actually given the opportunity, anyone on your staff, to be able to look through the house?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, it will be. So please be cautious.
Right.
And as I said, Ergon had no next to kin, so if there's anything of value or use to any of you, I know he would want you to have it and use it.
Out of game,
If you
maybe
can,
a hazmat suit,
if you can figure this out for me, or at least give me a good lead, I'm willing to pay each of you 50 gold pieces. Now, I know you'd probably not do it, but I have a feeling this may lead to something more, and I prefer that you're equipped well for it.
All right. Well, there's
Sure.
no conflict at present, so we appreciate your confidence in us, and I give a head nod to the rest of the party, and well bet. And let's rock and roll.
Elro gives my thanks. He says, "Good luck to you." And he walks out of the tavern, leaving you three to muster your next decision. Okay. What would you all like to do?
How well are we supplied at this moment? Like, if we ended up falling through the earth and didn't have access to a store nearby, I mean, how well
Okay.
how well provisioned are we at the moment? Like food.
I remember at character creation, I said, your second level,
Yeah.
you should max your hit die at second level. That's
Okay.
a character creation point. Don't know if you've done that. And then as far as equipment goes, you have the standard starting equipment for your character class or classes. And I told you you could have the best armor available to you, save plate mail, because none of you would have enough money to afford a suit of plate mail at this point in time. I think I'd probably cap that at like half plate.
Mm-hmm.
For most of you. And then other than that, you got your standard gold pieces, whatever you would have at starting. I think mine's 10. Whatever your class gives you. I know certain classes get a little more, a little less. But like, and you got your full bevy of rations, torches. Like, I know each class gets either like an explorer pack or a priest kit or a dun. You know what I'm saying? Whatever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, it's standard fare. Best armor available to your class up to half plate, meaning no greater than half plate because you can't afford anything.
Mm-hmm.
You even at second level, saving up a year would probably just give you enough to get that. You know what I mean? Um, but that's where we're at as far as how well provisioned we are. We got our full gamut of rations. Your standard 50 foot of rope. I got a hunting trap. It comes with my character class. It's not, or my background. I think it came with my background. But that is where you're at as far as what you have provision wise. Now,
So no health potions or anything like that.
there are places here that may have those available.
Okay.
Just you don't have any on you right now, and you haven't been given any.
Okay.
Um,
I think that pretty much answers my question. Is
and you don't have enough gold to buy one at the moment.
Yeah, between us, I think we have like 30.
Yeah, you got. Oh, well, with Elrose Nod, you might get the friendly discount or something to be able to get one.
Yeah.
yeah.
Fortunately here, I know this wasn't mentioned at all during intro. Brug is a second level ranger.
Oh, and Dagus is a second level paladin.
Okay, and Crimson is
A second level blood hunter.
okay. So for those of you at home, that's the coalition right there. Interesting mix, but I think they'll work well together. Okay, so back to story as you all are sitting there. What would you like to do? You were given a couple of leads. What do you want to do first? Is my thing.
Well, I guess we should go check out the house. Don't you think, Crimson?
Yeah, probably the best idea.
Well, let's do that. Let's go investigate the house and see if anything was. It will give us a clue as to what happened, and maybe we, get a little bit more insight about how this came to be. Because I'd really like to put to rest, what happened to Ergon.
Yeah.
To know him was to love him, and to love him was to know him.
Ergon Winth lived in a one-story, one-room log cabin at the edge of town. So as you guys make your way to his cabin, you arrive there outside the door, and standing there is a good-natured glassblade rookie named Mila Tenno, a female wood elf. She recognizes Brug as he approaches, as she is also a scout in the Glassblades. So, you are the three Elrochos? It's a mess in there. Somebody tossed the place a few days ago. We don't know who. But Elro told us not to enter.
Well, let's go find out what this could all mean.
As you all enter the cabin, the cramped, dark cabin might have been a cozy place when its owner was alive. Now an unmade bed stands near a cold fireplace, its mantle hung with the head of some snarling white beast with gray horns. On the other side of the room, a small table strewn with dirty dishes and a set of dwarf-sized chairs stands before two empty shelves whose contents are scattered across the floor. Kitchen utensils, dried foodstuffs, adventuring gear, and a few books. Okay, as you enter the cabin, all of you have a. Okay, never mind. Hold on. What would you like to do as you enter this cabin?
Well, I'll just start investigating over here at this the bed and this corner of the room. I'll just start rummaging through and see if I can find any clues.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna
go ahead and roll me. Go ahead and roll me an intelligence check there, Mike.
That'd be a big 2.
Okay.
I got an 18
And Crimson,
investigation.
you rolled an 18 for your investigation?
Yes.
Okay, as you're wandering throughout the um the cabin here, you get to this window and you notice that it's slightly ajar there. And at the base of the window, you can see some muddy footprints at the base of the windowsill where it looks like somebody may have breached the window and came into the cavern. And you can see the footprints kind of fade after a few steps, but they're all over the floor here, where it looks like somebody may have been, tossing the joint.
Okay.
Go ahead and give me an insight check, Crimson.
Yeah. Ooh,
Hmm.
that's terrible. 10.
Okay. That won't do it. Do you point the footprints out to anybody else in the room or?
Yeah, obviously.
Okay. Well, as you guys are, where's that fireplace at? There it is. Starting your investigation, Brug is in the center of the room and he's staring up at the beast head that's hanging over the mantle with the white beast head with the gray horns.
Mm.
And give me as you look over to see what he's doing, you realize that he's got a couple tears on his cheeks. And he's staring at that head as if remembering something. He says aloud, "That beast almost killed Rook.
Mm.
I was out scouting base of the Flotex when I came across its tracks. I thought I was hunting it. No, it was hunting me. I would be dead today if Uragorn had not been there. The beast attacked me and had me dead to right. Uragorn slayed it with his mighty halberd. And he turns and looks in the corner. He goes, that halberd. And as you look over, standing up in the corner, mixed in with the adventuring gear, is a long shafted halberd. And you can tell by looking at the blade that it's been silvered. It's a silvered halberd.
Hmm.
So there's a little backstory from Brug.
All right.
That's how he knew Aragon. But Crimson points out these footprints. And then, let's see, go ahead and roll me. I guess that would be, give me a nature check on these footprints. Those of you who haven't already, I guess it would be me and you, Mike.
I got a nat 20 on my nature check.
Okay. You walk over to those footprints and you put your foot down next to it, just for kind of a comparison. And you're like, these are dwarfs. These are dwarf's prints.
Huh. It would be unlikely that Ergon would break into his own home.
Brooke says, look, and he points over to this pile of adventuring gear and such. And there's a pair of dwarfen boots there, and they're clean and freshly polished, no mud on them.
Mm-hmm.
Brooke doesn't think those are Ergon's prints.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever wrecked this place, probably dwarf.
All right.
So as you guys keep looking around there,
Well, since you pointed out the gear with the boots, I'll look through that. I'll look through his like adventuring gear.
okay,
The boots.
give me another investigation check.
19.
All right. As you're going through his adventuring gear, you find a couple of things in there. Some rations, the standard adventuring gear, a journal, it appears, and as you're picking the journal up out of his pack, a folded piece of paper falls onto the floor in front of you.
Okay. I pick up the piece of paper.
It's a receipt. It's dated 2 months previous. And the receipt indicates that Ergon sold several Aeorian items found in Islecross to the local antique shop, Pelk's Curiosities, for 1,000 gold pieces. You all know Pelk's. You know that many of the adventurers who leave Pale Bank to go to Islecross, any luck they might have, a lot of those goods find their way into Pelk's Curiosities. It's also where you would probably buy healing potions and that kinds of things here in Pale Bank. It's the main store.
Okay.
The items are listed as a dagger, a scroll case, a jade statuette, a quiver of 20 arrows, a silver ring set with a jasper, and 2 blue glass vials.
All right.
So, really, the only thing of value that is in there for y'all to clear out, there's a suit of splint mail, size for a dwarf. There is the silvered bladed halberd. There's no monies. There's that receipt. That's as far as anything valuable. It's that armor that I don't think anybody fits.
No.
And then there is a silvered halberd if anybody wants that. Interesting.
Mm-hmm. What kind of weapons does Crimson have?
He has a glaive and a
His
crossbow.
glaive. Okay. And how about Brog?
Brug has a couple of short swords on his hip and a longbow. JD, I know a glaive and a halberd statistically are exactly the same if you're interested in that silvered weapon.
I mean, yeah, I'll probably pick it up.
That's like they both have the same reach. They both do the same damage. I think they both do slashing. I think the only difference between the two is just like a flavor thing, you know?
I
One's
believe it's throwable, I believe.
Is it?
I think so.
I
Let
didn't
me
think it was
double-check.
throwable. It might be.
But a halberd's like a two-handed weapon.
So is a glaive.
So it's blade.
Oh, okay.
They're both pole arms. The only difference is the glaive's kind of got that curved slashing blade that's more pointed,
Mm-hmm.
where the halberd has like that poleaxe head.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, they both, like I said, statistically wise, absolutely no difference between the two,
Okay.
except unless a glaive can be thrown.
Yeah, no, there's absolutely no difference between the two.
Okay. All right.
So yeah.
Cool. I'm sitting here going, well, why'd they put a silvered weapon into this almost immediately?
Right?
Coincidence.
Why? Why? Because I've noticed something about Mercer's adventures after running a few of them now.
Yeah.
There's always a reason behind why that treasure drop is there. And I'm like, okay. All right, so that's all you guys find in Ergon's cabin.
Would we be able to sell the splint mail and the any of the gear to like the local
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yes, sir.
If you grab that splint mail, you'd be able to sell it. It's not magic or anything, but it's a decent suit of armor. You know, splint mail's. I think it's like one step under plate. You know, it's pretty good stuff. Yeah. You want to grab the splint mail?
as much as I think that
I mean, Elro told y'all, like,
yeah,
if y'all don't clear this place out,
everything's getting
nobody else is going to either, because, you know, as beloved as Ergon was, you know, he didn't have any like true kin around here or anything like that. He's kind of a lone wolf kind of dude, man, and that's probably why he appealed to people like Brug and Crimson, who uh, don't necessarily have that charismatic sway on most folk like you possess, Dagas. You know what I mean?
yeah. Well, I look at our party and go, well, it looks like based upon the receipt, if our next best step might be to go to Idle Cross and see if we can't track down some of these items.
No, Isle Cross is where he
Yeah.
just came back from adventuring. That's an island. That's.
Oh,
A ways
I
out.
see.
Yeah.
Are you talking about going to the store?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and so basically, I mean, that's the only thing that's really of worth is the halibut and the split mail, right?
Yep.
Okay. Well, why don't we go sell the split mail, see if we can't be in better position before heading out to our next destination.
Bruce says Elks might be open. It's not too late.
Okay.
All right. So go ahead and give us the store map. JD. So y'all leave Elks and or leave Ergon's cabin and begin walking over to Pelks. Go ahead and put us outside of the store there, if you would. We're not inside of it yet. There we go. So you guys make your way through Pale Bank. Once night falls, it's a quiet place. It gets very cold. It's not a bustling place at all. The only place around town that's fairly busy is that tavern fills up pretty quickly. They appreciate their meat and their seafood and their fish stew here at Pale Bank Village. But as you get up to the door of Pelk's Curiosities, you do notice that there's no light coming from inside the place, and it looks like it's closed. The dark cabin before you has a sign over its door which reads Pelk's Curiosities, with the image of a curving dragon used to make the letter P. Though the shop appears closed, you do notice the front door is slightly ajar. What do you wish to do?
Do Warforge have dark vision?
Nope.
No.
Oh, okay.
They should, but they do not.
Well, I would imagine bugbears and elves.
Okay. Stop. I need everybody. What is your passive perceptions?
12.
12, okay?
14.
And mine is 15. As you guys are staring at the door, yeah, all your scores are higher than that. Okay. You guys hear whispered voices and footsteps coming from inside the cabin.
I ready my shield and sword. And
What do you wish to do?
I draw my glaive across my arm as I draw it out and ignite my Crimson Right which is the right of the storm.
Okay. You want to let us know what that does?
Basically, it does an extra D4 of electric damage, lightning damage. That's what it is. Yeah. Speaking of that,
Brug
I
looks
need
at
to
you too and
roll that. Okay, I did
gives you
2 points.
the quiet symbol. And he slinks over, kind of gets against the wall and I'm going to try to stealthily open the door and look in. So
Okay,
here
before you do that though, I'm casting bless on the three of us.
Ooh, let's do this. Okay.
Okay.
Nice.
Oh, by the way, Crimson, what is your armor class? I know your hit points were the same as mine.
18.
18. And Dagos, what is your armor class and hit points?
My AC is 19 and my
Okay.
hit points is 24.
Okay, is that maxed out?
That is maxed out.
Okay. Cool. So you cast Bless, and what does that do for all of us?
Yeah. So when you're blessed, a target makes when a target makes an attack roll or a saving throw before the spell ends, which is a minute, the target adds a 1d4 to the attack roll or save.
Oh, wait. Okay. Well, I like that. Okay, you cast the Bless, and Brug is going to try to stealthily open the door.
Is that a 1?
That's a 1.
Oh, add the d4 to that. Oh, actually, I think that's just it's not a saving throw, is it? It's a
No.
ability check.
Yeah.
Oh.
It says here, if characters succeed on a group stealth check, they can surprise blank. So, as Brug goes to stealthily open the door, one of the bolts or one of the hinges squeals loudly. And as you look into the dark, let's see, who has dark vision here now that the door's open?
I do, and
And Brug does. What you see moving around inside the shop of Pelks are, let's see, through the door, you see at least 3 black cloaked elves rummaging and tossing the place. So if I can get the elf tokens, I will need 6 of them.
So before we
And
check
I'll-
this, can I use the restroom
Oh,
first?
absolutely.
Right,
While you're
right.
doing that,
All right.
those bandit tokens I gave you with the little elves with the mohawks will be perfect if you have tokens available for bandits. It doesn't matter. I just need 6 of them, and I'm going to place them real quick. Like I said, when the door opens, we'll be able to see 3, and when we get back, we'll roll initiative for everybody. Perfect. Yeah, just give me 6 of those. I said that they can see 3, so I'm going to put like 3 right here, that line of sight right through the doorway. Then I'll put the other ones where I want them. All right, there's the 3 we see, and then I'm going to put. Perfect. Is that 6? Actually, we'll do it like this. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and take 5 and We get back. I'm sorry I screwed the pooch on that stealth roll, fellas. Some stalker I am. Okay, well. All righty. I can close this for now. Let me get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on these cats. If you would be so kind. And I'll start rolling up their initiative rolls right now. Thank you. All right, guys. You guys go ahead and roll initiative for me.
$12.
Come in. Good time, bad time.
What'd you roll, Michael?
22.
Okay. So this is the order of initiative. Dagus is first with a 22. Then the 3 bandits that are surrounded that main floor go next. So that's 1, 2, and 3, I think, isn't it? Yep. The 1, 2, and 3 go next. They have an initiative score of 17, 16, and 16. So that really kind of squashes that. And then after that is Crimson with a 12. And then number 4 with an 11. And then Brug with a 10. And then 5 and 6 go last.
Dad,
What, son?
am I allergic to cats?
Are you allergic to cats?
Yeah, because I picked up like a black cat yesterday.
Your mom is, so you might be. I don't know.
I think I'm a little allergic, but not really allergic. I
Okay.
think that's why my nose is so stuffy.
It could be.
Because I picked up a cat. So my headache was caused by my nose.
We're live. Number 3, seeing that you're not alone, draws a short bow off his back and fires at Brug standing in the doorway there. And hits me. That's just what he needs to hit. 16. Oh, pumped the shit out of me for 8.
Wow.
He max
This is in the
damaged
middle
me.
of combat, but I'm being discharged, so I'm gonna head home. Give me about 20 minutes.
Hey, man, take your time, brother. Take your time.
All right, see you in a bit.
All right.
All right?